And tonight with the latest on flood recovery efforts in Siouxland. Last Sunday, floodwaters rushed through McCook Lake, South Dakota, diverted from the Big Sioux River to the lake and those homes that surrounded it. Over 50 homes suffered damage due to the flooding. Some homes suffered only minor damage, while others were swept right into the lake.
KTIV's RJ Breen spoke with one homeowner about his experience.
I was just in a no-win situation, and I'm sad. My wife is sad. Everything we've had, we worked our lives for is gone. Our house is gone. We cannot go in and get one single possession, nothing.
Many residents of McCook Lake shared that same heartbreaking experience following last week's flooding. But for Kelly Rooney, who owns several businesses in Sioux City's Riverside neighborhood, the situation could have been just as bad for him had the water not been diverted to McCook Lake.
If I have the house, I lose my businesses. I lose my income, and I lose 6 people that depend on their jobs. If this whole place, if this would have flooded, this whole Riverside would still be underwater if it would have flooded.
Now, last week, as you know, the McCook Lake flooded, which is located just up here. But Rooney believes had it went to the south off of the Big Sioux River, his businesses in Riverside would have perished. Many residents had no idea the flooding was going to happen. On that Sunday night, as the floodwaters began to rise, Rooney was not home.
I had golf shoes on. I went to a golfing tournament earlier. That was the quickest thing. I had 10 minutes to grab when I got home.
Now, a week later, as the recovery efforts continue, Rooney is just glad his family is doing okay.
I'll bounce back, but you can't replace a family member, a friend, a neighbor. You can't replace that. So I'm happy with that. I'm sad I've lost a lot. I've pretty much lost everything.
In Sioux City, RJ Breen, KTIV News 4.
As floodwater poured into McCook Lake, Rooney also took it upon himself to save lives. After getting his family and 2 dogs out safely, Rooney returned to the area near his home to help others get out. Rooney helped 2 of his neighbors just a half hour before their homes slid into McCook Lake. Neighbors in that area also helped residents out before their homes were overrun by floodwater. Rooney says those actions are testament to how strong the community of McCook Lake is.
I didn't realize at the time, but I know now that I saved their lives, and I'm glad I did. I would do it all over again because I can't go back and get my possessions. My house is gone. Everything I have in my house is gone, and I'm okay with that as long as they're okay.
Through the events of the flooding, many residents had no idea that homes in McCook Lake would actually flood. Residents KTIV has spoken to say many didn't get notice of the flooding until later in the evening, around 7 o'clock. Once the water started to rise and the flooding began, residents notified each other. Kelly Rooney recalls that afternoon was just a normal day on the lake.
At that time, I was wondering why we're not telling people, because there's people on the lake still boating and jet skiing. And I'm like, somebody has to tell these guys that they're about to flood this lake, and nobody knew about it. There was no warning or nothing.
Another McCook Lake resident, Kathy Roberts, says even after the flooding, residents have had minimal communication with North Sioux City city leaders. She and others have expressed their frustration for the lack of notice ahead of flooding, as well as the lack of communication in the days after.
I've not seen this in print anywhere that's telling me that I'm supposed to do this. It's just my neighbors. I mean, we are a strong community, and one word gets out and it just keeps spreading. I mean, in that aspect, it's good, but we have no mass communication. I don't know where that's at.